Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour. This episode is about debunking Western propaganda. Larry Johnson, retired CIA officer, great guy, very knowledgeable, shoots it straight, doesn't create any BS. Listen to this one, and then you'll maybe better understand why you don't want to read the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, any of the major news networks. They spin anything that the White House wants to say, and we know that the White House likes to make up stuff all the time. Listen to this closely. What's coming is not what you're thinking is going to happen, and the outcome is going to be the opposite of what Trump and all their supporters think is going to happen. Here we go. Listen closely, and then please leave your comments. Please leave your comments. I want to hear what you're thinking and any questions you have. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour.
And then another report came in on that front. Trump prepared to depart the White House. So this is more context on what happened that day, on what led Trump to decide on these strikes. I don't know. This is the Wall Street Journal. Trump prepared to depart the White House for Turkey on Monday evening. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth briefed him on reports that Iran had launched cruise missiles and one-way attack drones at commercial vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz, the Omani side, striking 3 ships, including an LNG tanker. Trump questioned whether Iran remained committed to reaching a final agreement and, after consulting with his senior national security advisors, concluded that it did not. The meeting marked a turning point, leading Trump to abandon the interim ceasefire framework, authorize new military strikes against Iran, against Iranian targets in and around the Strait of Hormuz, revoke Iran's oil selling license, and renew economic pressure. While he has not ordered the U.S. Navy blockade to be reinstated, officials said American warships remain in position should he
revoke Iran's ability to sell oil. Wait, you think the Iran has to ask permission to sell oil and go through the the straits? You can't make this stuff up, folks. I mean, anyways, they do. They just write up anything that the White House wants you to tell you. Here we go. Let's keep going.
He decided to do so. So that's an update on where he decided
where are they remaining in position? About 200 miles offshore, right?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. I can't remember where they are exactly.
Gee, why is that? They're afraid. Okay?
Yeah.
The United States said, now we got this under control. We can kick Iranian ass whenever we want. Fine, guys, go sell into that Strait of Hormuz. Show what you can do. They're not stupid. To the credit of the Navy commanders, they're not stupid. They know that would be a potential death sentence. So they're not interested in that. And what's the evidence of the United States is making preparations for a multi-week, multi-month fight with Iran over the Strait of Hormuz? What's the evidence? Because if they say making preparations, it's not just that you got planes out there on the ground. That goes back to what I was saying about they're setting up the CAT teams. The CATs are being reorganized. They're being put into place. You're keeping your deconfliction cell out in the area. But the opposite's happening. Deconfliction cells being withdrawn. CATs have stood down. Sorry, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the only indication, and just disclaimer, as you know, I've been saying the war's over for months, so I don't think that's going to restart. But just going to give you an indication of something showing not preparation for a full-blown war. CENTCOM did say there's X number of warships still in the region patrolling. We've mentioned the number yesterday. I can't remember what that was. But there's military aircraft that came from the Ben Gurion airport to the Gulf, but more importantly from Europe. Some of it came to the Gulf. Now, I'm not saying it's enough for a full-blown war. Just kind of trying my best to answer your question.
Yeah, it's not even close. And again,
with the funeral concluded, the next level is escalation. There are already reports of large-scale deployment of troops to many areas of Iran. The United States has made it clear that the strikes against Iran will not stop. They are openly indicating that the MOU is dead and the ceasefire is over. This is a declaration of all-out war. And this is where the strategic genius of the Iranian military comes into play. This is not going to be a conventional war fought on Iranian soil. Iran's game plan is to turn the entire region into a firestorm. They are going to take the fight directly to the source of aggression and the countries that facilitate it. We saw the blueprint for this in the last round of fighting, and we are about to see it executed on a massive scale. Iran will not just strike American military bases. They will systematically dismantle the economic and governmental infrastructure of nations like Kuwait and Bahrain. The Iranian military has already shown its capability to target refineries. The Mina al-Ahmadi refinery in Kuwait came under 2 waves of attacks back in March alone. Now, imagine that multiplied by 10. The Iranian military strategy is asymmetric warfare. They target the economic lifelines of their enemies. They will strike oil refineries, government establishments, and local intelligence units in places like Jordan, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They will strike military bases and nodes that support the American campaign. The U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain is a massive target. It has already been struck. The Iranians are going to cripple the ability of these nations to function. They will bring their economies to their knees. Let's talk about the military prowess, or rather the complete lack thereof of these 3 Gulf nations: Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE. These are not military powerhouses. They are wealthy states that have relied on American protection. Their air defenses are good, but they are not designed to withstand a saturation attack from Iran's arsenal of ballistic missiles and suicide drones. Their militaries are small, their populations are tiny, and their morale is non-existent. Iran, on the other hand, has a massive battle-hardened military. They have been preparing for this conflict for decades. They have the capability to launch hundreds of precision-guided missiles in a single salvo. The sheer volume of firepower that Iran can bring to bear would overwhelm the air defense systems of these tiny Gulf states in a matter of hours. Their ports would be blockaded, their oil terminals would be burning, and their governments would be begging for a ceasefire within days. The American promise of protection is worthless when faced with the reality of Iranian missile fury. And what about the broader implications? Larry Johnson is right to warn that the American empire won't survive this shock. The United States is overextended. They are fighting in Ukraine. They are supporting a genocide in Gaza. And now they are being drawn into a full-scale war with Iran. The American public is exhausted. The American economy is fragile. They simply cannot afford a long, drawn-out conflict in the Persian Gulf that sends oil prices through the Iranian military has already demonstrated that they can shut down the Strait of Hormuz, through which 1/5 of the world's oil passes. The moment Iran tightens its grip on that strait, the global economy will go into shock. The Americans will...
So there we are, folks. Full speed ahead. Trump's not stopping. And the one thing they never mentioned in this broadcast is what they're going to do to Israel. Because remember, Israel already threatened they're going to have some new weapon they're going to use if they think they're going to be attacked or whatever. So what is going to happen with Israel? Well, a big firestorm, very concentrated. And hey, folks, remember one thing. Israel's the size of New Jersey. So what's coming? Do not watch mainstream media in the United States. Turn on YouTube, get informed, watch the Conscious Hour. I'll be tracking this every day like I have for the last, 2.5 years, whatever, ever since the Ukraine war. I mean, been doing this a long time. Please hit the like button, please hit the share button, and please donate or become a member. A $5 subscription would help out. I've been funding this myself the whole time. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour. It's your Conscious Hour. It's our Conscious Hour to come together and take control of our future, not these bureaucrats. Thanks for tuning in.